What's up guys, it's Josh back with another video, and today I wanted to show you guys how to set up a Rust environment on Linux. So as I stated in the intro, I wanted to go through and show you guys how to get a Rust environment set up in Linux. And I'm trying to get back into a lot of the strictly Linux videos that I used to do back in the day. I know I've been hopping into a lot of areas trying to show people other ways of how to get into the IT field, but I started my channel talking about Linux, and so I need to go down and pop in some videos, showing you guys some Linux applications as well as programming languages and things that you can do with the Linux operating system. And one of those things is setting up a Rust environment if you're wanting to be a Rust programmer. Now, if you guys haven't seen, but in the news recently, they were talking about how Rust is going to be introduced into the Linux operating system pretty soon. I believe Linus Torvalds made a statement that it will include the Linux kernel. It will include Rust, as one of the programming languages that they're including, or software that they're including using the Rust language. And so I wanted to kind of show you guys how to get a Rust environment set up in case you want to go about developing in the Rust programming language. And in case you guys didn't know, Rust is similar to C++. So if you know C++, or if you're a C++ developer, then you probably will pick up Rust a whole lot easier if you're coming from C++, to Rust, because it's essentially a little similar to that actual programming language. And just so you guys know, it was developed by Mozilla and designed by Graydon Hoare. So that's kind of where this language came from. And one thing I've been seeing a lot is a lot of Linux applications being rewritten in Rust. Like I did a video on the tilde command that you can install, which allows you to replace the old man pages that pop up, and they're a little bit cleaner, and the program is actually written in the Rust programming language. So let's go down and get this thing installed. Let me hop over to my virtual machine and we can get Rust installed. I can show you guys how to set up that environment so you can start developing in the Rust programming language. Before we move forward, I wanted to give a quick shout out to CIQ, the official partner of Rocky Linux. Rocky Linux is a Linux distribution that is intended to be a downstream complete binary compatible release using the Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system source code. The project is led by Gregory Kurtzer, who was the founder of the CentOS project. So check out Rocky Linux at ciq.co. Alright, cool. So I have Ubuntu 22.04 set up, and the first thing you want to do is open up the terminal, and I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. But really the first thing you want to do is update your system, so make sure you don't have any updates. So sudo apt updates, and that'll refresh the repositories and see if the system has any updates, which I think it does. I haven't updated this system in a couple days, actually since the last time I used it, which was for my previous video setting up SSH keys. This is that same system. I normally delete the systems, but I just left this one up, but I know it has a couple updates, so we're gonna run through these updates. If it's like super long, and I'll skip ahead and then we can go through the installation. It looks like it's not that many. It's only 4 packages that need to be upgraded. So sudo apt upgrade, boom, you'll go through, run those updates for us, and I'll skip ahead because sometimes it could be like 4 packages that are being updated, but it takes maybe 15 minutes, and I don't want to sit here, well, like it says right there, 8 minutes right now just downloading this stuff, and it's speeding up, but I'll be back when it finishes. Alright, so I had to reboot the system, so let's go down and open up the terminal again, I really just wanted to reboot it because of the updates or whatever. So we're good to go. So the system is fully up to date. I'm gonna run the sudo apt update again, just so you guys can see that it is up to date. And I want you guys to actually do that before you install Rust on your system. You want to make sure your system is fully up to date. Now, there are a number of different ways of installing Rust on your system, but I'll show you guys the easy way, which is by using a script that's called RustUp, that is available for you to actually download, and it'll run through and install Rust on your system. And RustUp is super simple, and it's an easy way of actually keeping it up to date as well. So that's why I wanted to show you guys this way. It's simply a shell script, and all we have to do is curl it down, and I'll put the link to this command down in the description of the video, but I'm gonna have to type it out slowly. So it's curl and then https:// and sh dot rustup dot rs, and then we have to put a couple of options in there. So lowercase s, capital S, lowercase f, and then let's grab or pipe that into sh, and that'll run our script for us. So boom. And it looks as though we don't have curl installed, so let's sudo apt install, and you can use whatever option. So if you don't have curl installed, go down and install it on your system as well. It shouldn't take too long for curl. Curl is a very small command, and what curl is used for is really just to pull down things from the internet. You could pull pages, you could do a lot of stuff with curl, and if you need help with that, I do have curl, a video on the curl command on my system. So let's clear the screen again, and let's run that command now. And from what it looks like, I misspelled it, so I wish I would have typed it out before I started this, that way I didn't mess up. So let's verify again. So sh rustup.rs, and our options are right, as well as the pipe, and then sh. Let's press enter. There we go. So it'll run through this script. It's super simple. Let me scroll up so you guys can kind of see what it's gonna do. It basically says welcome to Rust. This will download and install the official compiler for Rust programming language and its package manager, Cargo. And I know you guys have heard of Cargo before, so let's see, RustUp metadata, and it's basically going to tell you where it's going to put everything. It's going to put everything under my home directory, which is Josh, and add things to the profile, like the environment paths and all that stuff. So really, it's 3 options. So you can proceed with the installation, which is default, customize the installation, number 2, number 3 is cancel installation. So let's just type 1, and let's type and sorry, my numlock is off, but 1, press enter. That'll go through and install it, and this shouldn't take too long. It doesn't take long at all to really install Rust, and that's another reason I did it this way, so you guys can, I don't know, get a full understanding of how to install it. But there is this script, what I'm saying, that'll help you, install it the easy way. Now I'll be back when this finishes installing. And boom, we are done. Right after I finished making those statements, saying that I'll be back, it finished right away. But it says, this is what you'll see. It says Rust is installed now. Great. So there is something to configure right fast. It says to configure your current shell, run source and then home.cargo.environment. So let's copy that, and let's just run source, and then let's paste that in there right fast, because we don't need those quotes. Press enter, and we're good to go. So we can run it right in the shell, since we finished, installing it, and we refreshed the, the environment, the shell environment. Now let's go down and check the version of Rust that we have installed now. So let's type Rust, and it's a couple of commands, and let me type it right this time, but Rust C, and then -- version. and this will give us the version of Rust that we have installed. We have, I'm assuming this is the most current. I haven't looked to see what the most current version of Rust is, but 1.6.4, I believe that's the most recent version, because you can see the date right here as well, 2022, which was last month, so September 19th. So that most likely is the latest version, and if it's a new one out there, don't beat me up too bad, but I didn't know about it. That's what's available, and that's the thing, this script, you know, will install the latest version, so you don't really have to worry about it. Now let's test out Rust. Let's go down and create us a project directory, because that's one of the things you want to do. Whenever you're a programmer, or whenever you become a programmer, you want to start, you know, understanding that you need to set up and organize all your files, put everything in one centralized location. That way you can keep a track of everything. I recommend that with pretty much anything in IT, programming related, or, you know, I mean, just your normal files, you know, you want to organize them. But best thing you want to do, or the best thing to do, I recommend, is to always create like a project directory. So if I'm working on Python projects, I always create like a Python _ projects or something to that effect, you know what I'm saying? So with Rust, same exact thing. So Rust projects, boom. So we're going to create that directory there, and let's cd to that directory. So Rust projects, and I need to spell it right. I don't know why I keep putting that S before the U. And then let's go down and create us a project, you know what I'm saying, because this is considered our project level, or a project directory, where we will have all our projects underneath it. So you obviously want to organize all your projects by putting them in their own folder. So yeah, let's go down and make another directory, and this will be our test directory, which is fine, that'll work. And then let's cd into that directory as well, boom. And nothing is in there, so, you know, obviously. So now let's create a file, and let's just use the nano command. So nano, and then let's go on and create a Rust test file. So let's go Rust, and then test, and then the extension for our test files is RS. Now you can use this with a text editor. You know, some text editors, they have the Rust language built into it, so it'll be easier to write your code. So like Codium, VS Codium, you can use that, or VS Code, whichever one you want to use, or whatever text editor you want to use. For programmers, then you want to probably use one of those if you have trouble working in a command line, because it doesn't give you like recommendations on what you're trying to type and all that stuff. So, but anyway, let's create this file, boom. And it's actually not created, it's held in memory right now, if you know how nano works, because we haven't officially created the file until we save the file, and, you know, and put something in it. So let's go on and type in a quick script. So fn, let's type main. And first off, before we go, I just found this script online, because I'm not a Rust developer. I don't know Rust, but I do know some programming languages, and so it's not that difficult to figure out, or, you know, type it in, you know, understanding how to type it in, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, it's not that difficult to figure out. You just want to go through and learn it, though, you know, before you start just playing around with it. I'm just showing you guys how to actually run something super simple, and I'm basically printing something. So I searched this, found a script, and I'm gonna just type it out for you guys so you guys can see. But open, you know, parentheses, and then we have to open up a bracket, press enter, and then there is a print command. So kind of like in Python or any other programming language, they have print, you know what I'm saying? You could print something out, print something in the terminal. So let's put what we want to print in these parentheses in a quote. So and that's another reason I said like use a text editor of your choice, because a lot of times it'll, with some of those text editors, like if you create a parenthesis, open parentheses, it's gonna automatically close a I'll put a close parentheses at the end of it. If you open up some quotes, you know, it automatically put the quotes, and you'll be typing in front of those, but in quotes. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of those things kind of help you out. But you got to remember if you type it in a command line or something like that. So Rust has been installed. successfully. Boom. There we go. And then close out quotes, and then close out our parentheses, and then we had to close out that bracket. If you learn that when you first become a programmer. Anytime you open up something, you got to close it, especially when it comes to brackets, parentheses, and all that good stuff. So this is typed out right. Let's go on and save it, and let's run our command, or run this actual Rust script. And the first thing you want to do is run the Rust C command against that file. So let's run that. And I keep typing it out wrong, but Rust C, press enter, boom. All right, so after a little research, it looks like I have to install another application right fast. So sudo, and I want to leave this in so you guys can kind of see what I did to troubleshoot this. But I basically looked. It looks like it needs the build essentials installed, and so this is something that should be a prerequisite or something that should have been installed beforehand, before we ran that script. But it needs the build essentials. The linker cc not found. That's dealing with the something with the compilers. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm gonna run this and see if it actually works. I'll be back when it finishes. All right, cool. So we got the build essentials installed. So now let's go down and try to run the actual Rust command right fast and see if it works. And yes, it works. So let's clear the screen, but let's run the script now. So all we have to do is hit // It's just like running any script on Linux. Bash scripts, that shell script, that sh script, you want to do it that way. So let's go down and type Rust, and let's type out that file. I think it's rust.ors, test.ors, and press enter. And now we got permissions denied. And so let's back this off. There we go. So I backed that off. You don't have to put the .ors on there. And that should work for you. But it says congrats, Rust has been successfully installed, or installed successfully. So we are good to go. So we know that Rust is working properly on the system. Now let me go and show you guys how to update Rust if you need to. It's a couple command, or it's one command really. It's that rust up command. So rust up, because once you use that script, it's gonna have rust up on the system. So it has a couple commands with it, but if you ever need to update Rust, all you have to do is type rust up updates, and it will check to see if it has the latest version of Rust installed. And as you can see, it has the stable version right now, so it doesn't need any updates. So we are good to go with that. I just wanted to at least show you guys, this is how you update it. Now let me show you guys how to uninstall it if you want to. So it's a simple command using that rust up command, and all we have to do is type self uninstall and press enter, and that'll uninstall Rust for you. As you can see, it says thanks for hacking with Rust. This will uninstall all Rust tool chains and data, and remove the home cargo bin from the path environment variables. And in order to continue, you have to type that Y right there, because anything that's capitalized, a lot of times with scripts, anything that's capitalized, that's the default. So if you hit enter there, it's gonna automatically select no. So you have to type that Y in there. And plus, you want to, whenever you're making system changes, you want to type something in, and that's why they wrote that into the script. So as you can see, removing rust up home, removing cargo, the binaries, rust up is uninstalled. So we're good to go. And if you want to get it installed again, you just run that script command again, and you get to go. And like I stated, Rust is an awesome programming language. It's a multi-paradigm programming language. It was created by Mozilla, so it's open source by nature, and it has an awesome community behind it. And like I said, it's being adapted in the Linux kernel and future releases. I'm not sure of the release or when it's supposed to actually come out within the kernel, but Rust will be included in the Linux within Linux in the future, and it's an awesome language to probably add to your tool belt of programming languages that you understand how to use. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, leave comments down in the comments below, and of course, keep it techie.